Hey, and what's up guys, my name is Juris, and in today's video I'm gonna show you how I scaped this 180 centimeter aquarium. This is a private customer project. Let's get started. Step number one is we have to attach the background to this aquarium. And I always say, if you have an OptiWhite tank with clear seals, use white silicone. If you have black silicone, like in this case, I always recommend to go for a black background. The reason is because then the silicone seals, especially in the back, become invisible. For the substrate, this time I decided to go with the ADA Amazonia Type 2. I think that's the newest version. So far I have used a total, I think, of 6 bags on the bottom. Then I sprinkled, I don't know, 6 of this, supplement portions. Their recommendation is to use whatever is included for 1 bag. We have approximately 4 to 5 centimeters in the front, and I would say 7 to 10 centimeters in the back. So it is a slight slope. Next step, I will spread the rocks and the driftwood on the ground and choose the pieces and start puzzling with the hardscape. As for the rocks, we're using Mini Landscape rock. They are coming from the previous layout. They have been soaked in a bleach solution, have been watered with a dechlorifier afterwards, so they're safe to use, and this is what I recommend you doing if you use rocks from a previous layout. And then we have ancient juniper wood. I really like using this type of wood for several reasons. So many beautiful pieces, and yeah, it's super easy to make a nice composition out of it. It is flat on the left side, it rises towards the right side, and on the very right side it goes a little bit down again. It is very easy to replicate. So all you want to do is just to start on one side, keep adding more branches, and while the ones on the right side almost tilted to the right side a little bit, then you go to the vertical, try to avoid the vertical, it's looking unnatural, and then they're falling flat as more you go to the left side. So once the basic structure of the branches was in place, I started using the rocks. Strategically, I placed some of the bigger rocks on the lower branches of the wood, sort of anchoring them down to the substrate because the wood is not watered and I don't want it to float up. And once the big pieces were in place, I added smaller pieces in between to sort of, fill out the composition. Final step, I have added detailed branches here in the midground to show off some of the characteristics of the ancient juniper wood. Because once the plants are in, many details are going to be hidden. So I think overall we have a pretty cool composition. And last step, I tossed 1 more bag of Aquasol inside. So we have a total of 7 bags, 9 liter each of ADA Amazonia Type 2. And now let's get to planting. First things first, I started with the carpeting plant. It is the Marsilea hirsuta. And by the way, all plants are from Danila Plants, but the project is not sponsored. I bought the plants. This is a private customer project of mine. I used a total of 24 cups Marsilea hirsuta to plant this 180 centimeter for the foreground. And I have to admit, I planted quite densely. Next, I used the Alternatera Reinecke Mini. I backed up the Reinecke Mini with Lobelia cardinalis Mini. So, a mini after mini. The Lobelia right now has this super nice violet hue. It's going to turn super bright green with small round leaves. So it's a nice contrast to the Reinecke Mini. I filled the space in between with the Schismatoglottis prietoi. It's a beautiful plant. If you've never seen Schismatoglottis before, it's kind of like a Cryptocoryne, but the leaf looks like Anubias. I transitioned on the left side from Marsilea hirsuta to Schismatoglottis to Lobelia, so we have a kind of a repetitive theme here. And in the back, right next to the Lobelia, there is the Cryptocoryne Wenditii compact. In the front, Wenditii compact over here, I cut off the leaves. Reason for that, we have the super branchy wood in front, so I try to keep the details visible for you guys, otherwise it would be completely covered. Also, after you chop it down like this, it's gonna grow back very compact. And on the very far right side behind me, Marsilea hirsuta, we have Schismatoglottis prietoi, Lobelia cardinalis Mini, transitioning to Cryptocoryne Wenditii compact, and then it goes to the very background planting of this aquarium. Speaking about the background, I have used a mix of stem plants. But first, coming from the left side, I told you previously, Marsilea, Lobelia, Cryptocoryne. Then we have Lagenandra Mayboldi Red. Right now it's brownish, it's very small, even smaller than the crypt, but this plant can grow quite big, I think 25-30 centimeters, and should have beautiful dark reddish leaves. Next I planted Rotala rotundifolia green. Next we have Ludwigia palustris, aka Super Red. By the way, it's the same plant. Ludwigia palustris is the same as Ludwigia Super Red. Then is the Amania pedicellata golden. Very beautiful stem plant with really gold color leaves, very, very bright and orangish color. Then we have the Hygrophila siamensis Thailand. And then in the very, very rear corner, there is like a filter intake, which is actually used by the client to perform water changes. And in this corner, I planted Aponogeton boivianus, I think that's the name, 3 bulbs, because they're going to produce quite large leaves, very long leaves, and I have the hope that they will get tall very quickly. Next, I planted some Microsorum trident. I cut off the leaves. I like to do it with the ferns, especially with the Microsorum species, same for Bulbitis. I just cut off all the leaves. I only plant the rhizome. What it does, the plant grows back with submerged leaves. They are perfectly adapted or conditioned to the environment. Next, I did the same with Hygrophila pinnatifida from tissue culture. This is going to, just blend everything together. It's a quite fast grower. Every time the pinnatifida is going to produce a vertical shoot, you just cut it and it's going to produce a lot of side shoots. And finally, I added a bunch, I think 20 pots or 25 pots of Bucephalandra pygmea Bukit Kelam, also known as wavy green. Those have been all the plants that went in, but I have 2 more plants available. They are floating plants. We have here Limnobium leviatum and Phyllanthus fluitans, the mighty red root floater, and the Limnobium levigatum sounds like a magic spell from a Warner Brothers movie. Guys, this has been it. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Smash the like button and I see you in the next one.